512,094,100 naira only, as against the 2020 statutory appropriation revenue projection of 278,355,365,947 naira only, with a difference of 88,843,273,847 naira only, or 32% lower. The reduction is to achieve a realistic budget performance in 2020 fiscal year. This was occasioned by the significant decline in the global price of crude oil, well below the approved 2020 benchmark, triggered by the global COVID-19 pandemic and its multiplier effects on internally generated revenue efforts. The proposed revenue for the 2020 Appropriation Act. Number one, statutory revenue allocation. That is 1% of the receipts from the Federation account, the FCT share of the Federation account, plus VAT, excess crude account, and part scrap refunds that is accruable to the FCT. Then there is an internally generated revenue component, which is 101,489,748,096 naira only, which is accrued from the FCT generating agencies, which include Internal Revenue Service, FCT, the Abuja Geographical Information System, Abuja Environmental Protection Board, FCT Water Board, the Directorate of Road Traffic in Abuja, Department of Outdoor Advancement, and others. Then the third component is the COVID-19 federal government intervention support. The proposed expenditure is 189,512,094,100 naira only. This is proposed in the revised statutory budget as against the earlier 2020 appropriation figure, which I have mentioned earlier. Number one, of the projected total expenditure, the sum of 71,898,469,314 naira only is proposed for personnel costs, against the appropriated sum of 55,878,241,095 naira only, representing 29% increase. In the same vein, the sum of 55,691,319,788 naira only is proposed for overhead costs, against the earlier appropriated sum of 62,343,723,453 naira only, representing a reduction of 11%. While the sum of 61,922,304,998 naira only is proposed for capital expenditure as against the earlier appropriated sum of 160,133,401,417 naira only, which is 61% lower for the capital expenditure. The projects affected in the reduction will be rolled over into the 2021 budget. Arising from the foregoing, therefore, the aggregate reduction in the expenditure projection is at 2% in order to achieve a balanced budget. Mr. President, my highly respected and distinguished colleagues, I urge you all to give this bill an expeditious passage into law. I thank you and God bless you all.
Motion moved by the leader for the second reading of the Federal Capital Territory Statutory Appropriation Act, Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2020, SB 539. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, you may recall that the FCT Statutory Appropriation Bill 2020 was passed and assented into law. However, as a result of the COVID pandemic, FCT's Statutory Appropriation Bill is comprised of, like the leader has mentioned, the statutory payments from allocation from the federal government, and also the IGR. This year we have seen a setback on the internally generated revenue, which necessitated this review. And as such, the cumulative reduction in the whole Statutory Act of 2020 has fallen from 278 billion 355 million to 189 billion 512 million, which is a reduction of 32%. The bill itself is self-explanatory, and I urge my colleagues to give this bill the passage of second reading. Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, I think we can just go for the second reading. The bill is self-explanatory. The lead debate is very rich enough and very enlightening and educating, and the intervention by the chairman, Senate Committee on the FCT, I think I said it all. So I'll put the question. Those in favor that this bill be now read a second time, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, Federal Capital Territory Administration account, the total sum of 189 billion 500 and on 31st December 2020, SB 539, second reading.
A bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund or the Federal Capital Territory Administration account, the total sum of 189 billion 512 million 94,100 naira only, of which the sum of 71 billion 898 million 469,314 naira only is for personnel costs, and the sum of 55 billion 691 million 319,788 naira only is for overhead costs, while the balance of 61 billion 922 million 304,998 naira only is for capital projects for the service of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja for the financial year commencing from 1st January and ending on 31st December 2020, second reading. And the bill is referred to the Committee on FCT to report back within 1 week. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, my highly respected and distinguished colleagues, the 13th order of the